Jai Sai Ram. Sri Sai Satcharitra, Chapter 5, Part 1. Baba's return with Chand Patil's marriage party, welcomed and addressed as Sai, contact with other saints, his dress and daily routine, the story of the Padukas, wrestling bout with Moideen and change in the life. Turning water into oil, the pseudo-guru Jawahar Ali. Written with Chand Patil's marriage party. As hinted in the last chapter, I shall now describe first how Sai Baba returned to Shirdi after his disappearance. There lived in the Aurangabad district, Nizam state, in a village called Dhoop, a well-to-do Mohammedan gentleman by name Chand Patil. While he was making a trip to Aurangabad, he lost his mare. For 2 long months, he made a diligent search but could get no trace of the lost mare. After being disappointed, he returned from Aurangabad with the saddle on his back. After traveling 4 kos and a half, he came on the way to a mango tree under the foot of which sat Ratna, queer fellow. He had a cap on his head, wore kafni, and had a satka, a short stick, under his armpit, and he was preparing to smoke a chilim. On seeing Chand Patil pass by the way, he called out to him and asked him to have a smoke and to rest a little. The fakir asked him about the saddle. Chand Patil replied that it was of his mare, which was lost. The queer fellow or the fakir asked him to make a search in the Nala close by. He went, and the wonder of wonders, he found out the mare. He thought that this fakir was not an ordinary man but an avaliya. That's a great saint. He returned to the fakir with the mare. The chilim was ready for being smoked, but 2 things were wanting. 1. The fire to light the pipe. 2. Water to wet the choppy piece of cloth through which the smoke is drawn up. The fakir took his prong and thrust it forcibly into the ground, and out came a live burning coal, which he put on the pipe. Then he dashed the satka on the ground, from whence water began to ooze. The choppy was wetted with the water, was then wrung out and wrapped round the pipe. Thus everything being complete, the fakir smoked the chilim and then gave it also to Chand Patil. On seeing all this, Chand Patil was wonderstruck. He requested the fakir to come home and accept his hospitality. Next day, he went to the Patil's house, stayed there for some time. The Patil was a village officer of Dhoop. His wife's brother's son was to be married, and the bride was from Shirdi. So Patil made preparations to start for Shirdi for the marriage. The fakir also accompanied the marriage party. The marriage went off without any hitch. The party returned to Dhoop, except the fakir alone stayed in Shirdi and remained there forever. How the fakir got the name Sai? When the marriage party came to Shirdi, it alighted at the foot of a banyan tree in Bhagat Mahalsapati's field near Khandoba's temple. The carts were loosened in the open courtyard of Khandoba temple, and the members of the party descended one by one. And the fakir also got down. Bhagat Mahalsapati saw the young fakir getting down and accosted him, Ya Sai, welcome Sai. Others also addressed him as Sai, and thenceforth he became to known as Sai Baba. Contact with other saints. Sai Baba began to stay in a deserted masjid. One saint named Devidas was living in Shirdi many years before Baba came there. Baba liked his company. He stayed with him in the Maruti temple in the Chavadi and sometime lived alone. Then came another saint by name Janki Das. Baba spent most of his time in talking with them. Or Janki Das went to Baba's residence. So also one Vaisya householder saint from Punta Bay by name Gangajir also frequented Shirdi. When he first saw Sai Baba carrying pitchers of water in both hands for watering the garden, he was amazed and said openly, "Blessed is Shirdi that it got this precious jewel. This man is carrying water today, but he is not an ordinary fellow. As this land, Shirdi, was lucky and meritorious, it secured this jewel." So also one famous saint by name Anandanath of Yevala Math, a disciple of Akkalkot Maharaj, came to Shirdi with some Shirdi people. When he saw Sai Baba, he said openly, "This is a precious diamond in reality. Though he looks like an ordinary man, he is not a girl, but a diamond. You will realize this in the near future." Saying this, he returned to Yevala. This was said while Sai Baba was a youngster. Baba's dress and daily routine. In his young days, Sai Baba grew hair on his head, never had his head shaved. He dressed like an athlete. When he went to Rahata, 3 miles from Shirdi, he brought with him small plants of marigold, jui, and after cleaning, he planted and watered them. A devotee by name Vaman Tatya supplied him daily with 2 earthen pitchers. With these, Baba himself used to water the plant. He drew the water from the well and carried the pitchers on his shoulder. In the evening, the pitchers were kept at the foot of the neem tree. As soon as they were placed there, they were broken, as they were made of raw earth and not baked. Next day, Tatya supplied 2 fresh pitchers. This course went on for 3 years, and with Sai Baba's toil and labor, there grew a flower garden. On this site at present stands the big mansion Samadhi Mandir of Baba, which is now frequented and used by so many devotees. Jai Sai Ram.